Hi ladies, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all having a great week. It's Wednesday, so hump day. We're almost to the weekend again. The weeks go by so fast. Do you feel like time passes faster and faster all the time? I know whenever I say that to someone, they usually agree with me, like, yes, it's crazy how fast time goes by. But I feel like time just goes by so fast. I was just complaining about winter every day, and now I'm telling you guys about how nice the weather is. So that's a refreshing change. Anyways, I wanted to do an all drugstore affordable makeup look, and I wanted to use one brand. And so I decided to use Milani, and I picked up a few products that are new and new to me. So I've got a couple new things, and I love Milani. I've shown you guys before. This is all my Milani makeup in this plastic bag. I have so much, and this even, I have more out on my vanity, the products that I'm going to be using today. So I really love Milani a lot. I feel like Milani performs as well as high-end makeup, in my opinion. It lasts all day. The products feel luxurious to use. They keep releasing nice new items or products, and they don't like drown you in product releases like ColourPop does, for example. But what they have is like a little tiny portion of an aisle. They're not like L'Oreal or Maybelline or ColourPop where they have an entire aisle at Ulta or the Superstore. It's just a little tiny area, but what they have is excellent. If you go to their website, you can find even more. So yeah, I love trying Milani, and I get excited when Milani releases new products because usually I enjoy what they release. So if you want to see this makeup look that I have on today, it's just sort of like going with the Pantone color of the year, peachy corally makeup, and I thought that I would wear a contrasting color. I should have probably worn green, but across the color wheel from the colors that I'm wearing on my skin, which is like a tip that might help some of you. I've learned it from like makeup artists that I watch on YouTube, that you don't want to wear coral or peach like a top and then also do all your makeup and be matchy. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I do that sometimes. But if you go across the color wheel and wear like the opposite color, it will make your features pop more, or the colors you're wearing pop a little bit more. So that's why I have on this like navy blue top. And yeah, so let's just jump in and get started. I have 4 products that are new from Milani. They're new to me. 2 of them I believe are new on the market. So the first one that isn't new on the market is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 concealer and foundation in one. And I have owned this before, and the color was wrong for me. It was too dark, and it almost, I don't know, it looked too taupey or something. So I just stopped using it. I couldn't return it because I didn't get it at Ulta. So I did pick it up in the correct color, and my correct shade is ivory, and it's pretty light. It looks light, but it's actually really good on my skin. I haven't used it yet, but I did swatch it. And I also have the Conceal and Perfect concealer. Even though this is a concealer and foundation in one, they still sell a Conceal and Perfect concealer. So I thought this might be nice to have in my purse for touch-ups and things like that. So I picked that up. And then I picked up something new, which is the cream bronzer from Milani, and I purchased mine in the lightest shade, which is called Hey Honey. I love the blushes, the cream blushes. I think they're phenomenal. So I thought that I would really like this too. And right now, my absolute favorite bronzer is the NARS cream to powder one that I use a lot here on my channel. And so I did swatch these, and the color is really close, and they feel very, very similar. This one's slightly creamier, but if this works as great as this does, this could be a real bargain to get the same exact effect or look. So I picked that up, and I'm excited to try it. I think it comes in 4 different shades. And then one of you told me about this a while ago, the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and it's a setting spray with an SPF of 30 in it. And I thought this is really great for reapplying your sunblock during the day. Especially when you're wearing a full face of makeup, I do wear my sunblock beneath my makeup, but I think it's a great great idea to have something like this. I wanted to see how it feels on my skin, because sometimes when you're outside for a long time, you need to reapply, you know, every couple of hours. And I just want to make sure it feels good after a few extra applications during the day. And so I was going to give this a try. So I'm excited about this. They do have in their like little tiny Milani skincare range, like a primer, SPF 30 in one. It comes in a yellow tube. I was really tempted to pick it up, but I have like over purchased my sunblock that I really love from La Roche-Posay. So I really don't need any more sunblock right now. So I passed on that. But if any of you have tried it, let us know if it's any good down in the comments. So yeah, let us know what your experience is with this as well. And then the other thing that I picked up was a repurchase, and it's the Milani eyeshadow primer. This is my absolute favorite drugstore eyeshadow primer. It's as good as high-end, and I don't know why I keep purchasing more eyeshadow primers. The three favorites that I have is this one from the drugstore, the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, and where there's another, oh, the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer is really good, and it comes in like a little tube like this one. So those are my favorite eyeshadow primers, but this is my favorite one from the drugstore. So I'm gonna start by applying my foundation, the Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1. I don't have my glasses on. I believe it's 2-in-1 because it conceals and perfects. Foundation in the shade Ivory. And I just applied it to my hand as a palette, and this is what it looks like. It's not runny at all. It's a slightly thicker consistency, or a creamy consistency. It's not watery at all. And I'm just gonna use a damp beauty sponge. I go back and forth between beauty sponges and brushes, and lately I've been back into my beauty sponges. The only problem is I have to remember to take them in the bathroom and wash them and then get them damp each time I use them. And I'm just a little bit lazy when I sit down to do my makeup, so I end up grabbing a brush a lot of the time. But I really do like the way that my makeup applies with a beauty sponge. So, and these are so inexpensive. My favorite are Real Techniques, but these are, I don't remember where I got them from, but they were like 99 cents a piece. And I got a whole bunch of them. If I can think of the place, I'll link them down in the description box. They're really good sponges. And this really does look really pretty on. It's a medium soft matte finish. It's a medium coverage with a soft matte finish. And just that one glob that I had on my hand did a really good job of giving me a nice medium coverage. What do I have? Good boy. So I hope that you guys are all having a good week. It's been so nice here. Our whole February has been really nice here in the Midwest. It's in the 60s today, and it's sunny. I actually have my door open to my balcony or upper deck, and it feels so nice. It's not at all chilly. It's not windy or cold. It's just like, it feels like spring. God has like totally blessed me this February with beautiful weather, because I was getting so down from the winter, and now it's staying light to almost like a little after 6 o'clock. Like it's like twilight at like 6:15. So it starts to get dark about 6:30. So I love that. I love it so much. What's it like by you? Okay, let's bring you in to get a good look at this. I think it's done some really good job of concealing and perfecting my skin. I hear so many people say this is their favorite foundation, and I can see why. If you have it in the right color, which was my mistake before, I would apply it and think, oh, I don't look good, I don't look good. And then you blame the foundation, but it's really your fault for not selecting the appropriate color. And it does come in like 43 shades. So I think that there should be a shade for everyone. At least I would hope. And I like that's in a glass bottle. I like that it's very simple. There's no like bright colors on the packaging. It's got a pump, really nice foundation. I remember when I tried it before that it did wear very well. It was fairly long wearing, and it didn't break up on me or anything like that. And I do remember that, because when I first purchased it in the wrong shade, I did wear it for like a week or so. And then finally I was like, no, this isn't working for me. But I remember it held up really well. I don't think I ever reviewed it on my channel or used it with you guys, just because it was wrong. It was the wrong color. Okay, now let's go in with the Milani eyeshadow primer. If you haven't tried this, it's got a little squeezy tube, and it's really interesting because the Anastasia is packaged just like this, but I always get way too much primer. I think it's thicker and a little goes a very, very, very long way with that one. So I always end up wasting a little bit, but this one I never do. I always use like what comes out with the first little, you know, squeeze, just a teensy bit, and it's perfect. I usually put a little underneath my eye as well. And what I like about this is that it's really creamy and soft, and it does everything that you want your eyeshadow primer to do. You want it to hold your eyeshadow on, prevent it from creasing, prevent it from, you know, just, you want it to look like the truest shade and last all day without creasing or anything like that. And this totally works, but it also is so soft and creamy that it's hydrating for my eyelids, which I was hopeful about the NYX, this one, because I liked that it came in a doe foot applicator, but this one isn't creamy enough, and I feel like it makes my eyelids a little bit dry over time, so I should probably just get rid of that one. But this one is like foolproof for me. So I was planning on using one of the face palettes from Milani that I recently shared with you in my drugstore favorites video, but I want to try that bronzer, so I'm not going to be using everything that's in that palette. So I decided just to go with the Luminoso palette because the Pantone color of the year is peach. And this is more like peachy coral shades, some bronzy shades, some shades that are a little bit more red. So pretty. It's got just a few mattes, 1, 2, 3 mattes, and the rest are like slight shimmers, but they're really, really pretty. There is a teeny bit of kick up with this palette, but nothing crazy, nothing to really complain about. And it's a really beautiful palette, and I've been using it all week. So I'm gonna show you what I do when I use this palette. So I'm gonna pick up this bronzy shade right here, and it's got a slight shimmer to it, and the shade is called Dusk, and it's a really pretty brownish color. And I'm gonna place this all over my mobile lid, even in the inner corner. I usually like to lighten up my eyes and leave everything really light and bright, but this palette doesn't really have that creamy white or shimmery shade that is really good for the inside. So I just thought I'd kind of glam it up a little bit because this is such a pretty palette. It's a great daytime palette, but it's a great evening palette as well. And I've been wearing it all week. I've been experimenting with different looks with this palette, and you can do a lot of different looks. So, but this is one of my favorites. And I always just blend really well to make sure that everything is kind of soft and sheer. I just cleaned off the same brush, and now I'm gonna go in with this peachy matte shade called Halo. And I'm going to use it just like the name suggests, as like a little halo around the bronze. Just up above it, just for like a little gradient. You know, the color blends really well, and it's just like lighter and peachier, and it, I don't know, it looks like a nice color gradient, like a sunset or something like that, or sunrise. So we're getting ready to go on spring break in a couple of weeks, and we're gonna go to the Smoky Mountains. I've never been, so we're gonna go, you know, we're gonna go and stay in a big cabin. All of my kids are gonna be there. I may have told you guys this already. 2 of my kids are bringing their significant others, and my 2 daughters are. My sons are not, but they're coming with us, and my husband and I, we get to bring the dogs and everything. We're gonna do some hiking. We're gonna explore like Gatlinburg, the Pigeon Forge. It's in that area. So you guys, if you are from that area, give me some tips and pointers if you have any. I know there's like these little like cable cars, I think in Gatlinburg. I'm just starting to like put together some sort of itinerary, but I still have to work on it a lot. I still just like, okay, we're going, we've got a place to stay, and we're gonna have fun no matter what. Okay, now I'm gonna take this shade right here called Sunset, which is like so fitting because I was just talking about how this looks like a sunrise. And now it's gonna look like a sunset. And I just put this in the outer corner. It's got a little bit of shimmer. It's not a matte, but it's not like metallic or anything like that. Very, very flattering. Because people get afraid of like reds or raspberry shades because they can be bright, too bright, or around our eyes. Sometimes we're afraid they're gonna make us look sick because, you know, red and pink by your eye sometimes is, you know, what you have when you're sick. So, but this is nothing like that at all. It's just really soft and pretty. Just adding a little dimension to that chocolatey shade that I have all over my lid. Now I have a clean, large, fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna kind of blend. And since I only used 3 shades, I don't need to worry about them muddying up as I blend them out. If anything, they just look better and better. I want everything, like I said, to look very soft and sheer. I'm just gonna take a teeny bit of highlighter, and this is Maybelline Master Chrome. And I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of highlighter on like a little smudger brush. And I'm gonna apply that to the inner corner because the Luminoso palette doesn't have a shade like this, a light shade. And I'm also gonna take it into the arch of my brow just a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna use my Kosas Air Brow on my eyebrows. And this is so easy. I just comb it through. I leave them, I don't really pencil in any more eyebrows. I really like that really like boxed in eyebrow look is not really a trend as much anymore because that never worked for me. I like a natural brow, kind of fluffy. This is really good. It's waterproof, lasts all day, matches my hair. Okay, so the Luminoso palette doesn't have a very like black shade or charcoal shade for eyeliner. So I'm just using MAC Carbon, which is my go-to for this. And I just have a slanted brush. This one happens to be from Luxie, but whatever very like thin slanted brush will do. And I just pick up a little bit of it on the edge. And what I do is I create a little wing, kind of going down toward my bottom lash line. And then I smudge it along my lower lash line. I think that this is called a reverse cat eye because you're going underneath instead of on top. And that's what I do. So I'm really looking forward to spring break. My son is sick right now. He got really sick. He just had his like conference meet for swimming and he did really, really well. It was his very last swim. He's been swimming since he was a baby and swimming on a local team when he was growing up, and now he's on his high school team. So he's been doing it for years and years and years. I was putting swim diapers on my boys and bringing them to the pool for lessons when they were really little. So we saw his last swim. It was definitely bittersweet. He did win his heat. So he ended on a high note. He's not going to state. A couple boys from his team do have state times and they're going to state. But yeah, so he's all finished. And yeah, it's sad, you know, the ending of an era, but oh well, what are you gonna do? So when my boys were little, I did what like all the moms do. You put them in baseball, you put them in basketball, you put them in flag football. And it's funny because my boys never liked the ball. They were like, what am I, a dog? Why are you throwing a ball at me? They were never into a ball. So I was always looking for something for them to do for physical exercise and with their time. It's funny though, because both of my girls too, they were cross-country runners. So neither of my boys are runners, but they're both swimmers. So it's more like endurance sports and sports that you kind of look at your own personal time. And that's what you strive for, is to just beat your personal record. So I think it's good. I think it's good for your self-esteem because you're not comparing yourself to other people. I mean, I suppose you could, but the coaches really encourage you to just do better than you did last time. And isn't that what we all try to do in life? better than we did the day before. For mascara, I'm going to use the Milani Highly Rated Mascara. And you guys have probably all heard me say that I have a love-hate relationship with this mascara. The only thing I don't like about it is that when you first get it, I feel like the formula is a little too wet, especially if you have long lashes. It's hard to like not touch your skin. But once you have it for a little while and you push the applicator in several times, it dries it down a little bit, and then it's perfect and it's really good. It's got a good brush. It's not overly flexible, and it really does get in there and get every lash. This is like a lash extension mascara. It's supposed to be a dupe for the Thrive Liquid Lash Extension, which is my favorite. But this is a really great drugstore tubing mascara. Okay, I'm gonna use the bronzer now in Hey Honey, and it's really creamy. It feels really good. This is the color that I got. It's like a cool toned bronzer, which is perfect for me. As you can see, it's like perfect for my skin tone. And I'm just gonna put a little bit like around my cheeks here. I'm gonna use my fingers just to kind of blend it in. Not really contouring, but a little bit, I suppose, on the backs of my cheeks, just to add some color, like a little bit of a shadow there. In my jawline. Okay, I guess I am contouring now. I have a contour brush from Real Techniques. I really like this brush because it's got like a curvy side. And it has this side too, which is great for your nose. But you can't use too much. You have to be really careful. If you do the sides of your nose like this, it'll make your nose look thinner. And if you go like at the end of your nose, it'll make your nose look a little bit shorter, I'm told. Okay, since I used the Luminoso eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna go in with the Luminoso blush. And this is a classic. Everyone talks about it on YouTube. It's just like the prettiest peachy shade, and it's got a lot of shimmer to it. So it's like a highlighter and a blush in one. It is very, very pretty. And I've gone through several of these since they've come out. They're really, really good. All the baked blushes are. Just find a color that you like, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. They last all day. They give a lot of pretty sheer color to your skin. You just look healthy, like you've been out in the sun or something. And I do have a highlighter that I'm not sure I need, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it anyway. It's in Dolce Perla. I'm gonna use the same brush that I just used for my Luminoso. Oh, I think that's really pretty, actually. Right on the tops of the apples of my cheeks. Actually, this is what I probably should have used in the inner corner, because it's, I don't know, I like the color of this one a little more than the Maybelline. And I'm just gonna put like a little here on Cupid's bow and tip of my nose. And I don't think I need this either, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it. And it's the Milani Pressed Powder, and mine is in the shade Natural Light. And it looks like this. This is really nice for in my purse because it's got a mirror here, and it does come with like a little pad. I usually use a brush, but I'm just gonna put a little bit. I don't want to dull down the highlighter, so I'm just gonna tap it like in my T-zone. But you know what I do need to do? I wanted to use the Conceal and Perfect concealer just to kind of clean up the liner and everything. So I'm gonna use this and just kind of tap it underneath my eye. And you know what? I can see that my Milani mascara touched like I said that it would. And hopefully this will cover that so I don't have to use something separate. Just gonna use this IT Cosmetics concealer brush. This is nice. I like that the color isn't too light, because light draws your attention, and I don't want to draw attention to my under eye area. It's not too dark, but I think it matches my foundation very well, and I like that. It is pretty creamy. I'm just gonna line my lips really quickly with my Charlotte Tilbury Walk of Shame lip liner. I really like this. I really like Pillow Talk as well. Pillow Talk goes with basically everything I wear. So it's like a perfect shade for me. I probably should have purchased this in Pillow Talk because I always have the Pillow Talk in the mini size, because you can get the mini size with the Pillow Talk lipstick in a little kit. And the size is perfect, but Charlotte Tilbury was having a sale, so I picked up a full size. It came with something I ordered. Like it was several products together, and I chose Walk of Shame. I really like this one too, though. They're really good. And now I'm gonna go in with this kind of lipstick from Milani. It has this, it's like slanted. It's not like the matte ones. I'll show you what the matte ones are like. So the tubes look the same, but this is like the matte. And I love this one. The color is so pretty, but it doesn't go with what I'm wearing today. These are really, really nice. But this one, these are matte, and the slanted ones are like glossier, but they're so nice because they stain your lips a little bit, and you don't need to reapply as often as you think you will. And they're really, really nice, and they're hydrating on your lips. It's just super pretty. And the color, I think, matches the Luminoso palette really, really well, and the Luminoso blush. And I like that it's hydrating. Okay, I have one last thing, and this is the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray with an SPF of 30, which is awesome. It's a good high SPF for reapplying. I don't know, like if you're on a boat or at the beach, that you would use this for reapplying, because you really want to slather something on your skin if you're in full sun and enjoying the sun. But for incidental sun exposure like we get on regular days, especially here in the Midwest where I live, where, you know, it's only sunny really. I mean, it's sunny a lot of days, but the summer is when we really, really need to crank up our SPF, because that's when we're outside the most. So yeah, I thought that this would be great. So let's give it a go. Let me give it a shake just in case. I don't hear a bead in there, so I don't know that you need to shake it, but I shake everything. Oh my gosh, I love the mist. Okay, it smells good. It smells fresh, very light, soft, and fresh. And the mist is so light. It wasn't like a hose where you get splashes in certain places, which is what I always worry about. Didn't do that. It was just a really good mist. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this. Let me know if you've tried it. I found out about it from one of you guys, so thank you for always telling me what you're loving, because that's how I find out what I love too. So this is the finished look. Let me bring you in close. All Milani. This will last all day long. Milani never fails me. It's my favorite drugstore makeup brand. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions. Leave me any comments down below. Even just say hello. I love interacting with you. And I hope that you all have a very blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you next time.